Hey, it's Gabe with API Nation. Today I'm going to show you how you can sync Real Geeks with BoomTown so that as those awesome leads come in through your Real Geeks website, they can automatically get popped into BoomTown. And if you're generating any leads or getting any leads in BoomTown, those will automatically get synced back into Real Geeks. It's a great way to use these two awesome apps together to close more deals. Let me show you how to set it up. The first thing we're going to do is go to apination.com. I'm going to come down here to Discover Connections and click that. And here's a ton of real estate apps. All have syncs available that can automate some of your daily work. I'm going to scroll on down here to Real Geeks. And if you click on the Real Geeks tile, you're going to see the other apps Real Geeks can connect to. So any of these other apps have syncs available that can save you some time. We're going to click on BoomTown. That's what we're syncing today. And you can see there's two syncs available. I can do Real Geeks to BoomTown, or I can do BoomTown to Real Geeks, or I can do both. I'm going to go with both. So I'm going to activate Real Geeks to BoomTown first. I'm going to click this button. And step one is connect BoomTown. So I'm going to click this button to connect BoomTown. And connecting BoomTown is as easy as signing in. There we go. I'm just going to confirm. BoomTown is connected. Now we're going to connect Real Geeks. So I'm going to click this button. It's going to take you to this great guide to set up this connection. Super easy. I'm just going to hold Control or Command and click on this link in step one. There you can see it's opened up a new tab. Then I'm going to scroll down to step 4. There it is. And there's that authorization key we're going to need. So I'm going to highlight this key. And every key is different, so yours is going to look a little bit different. Hit Control C or Command C. And then I'm going to go to this tab that we opened just a second ago. You can see it's a lead router. I'm going to click on Configure Destinations. Click on apination.com. Scroll on down to this Connect to a New Destination and select the API Nation option. Paste in the authorization key from that guide. I'm going to assign an agent who will be associated with the leads and hit Save. Now you can see we have a new connection available. I'm going to go back to the API Nation page now that I've added that. Scroll to the bottom and there's a button here to test the connection. So I'll click that and it looks good. It's connected. So it's going to move me on to the next step. All right, last step here before we launch this sync. You can see as a lead was created or updated in Real Geeks, it's going into BoomTown. I can specify exactly which category and which source I want these leads to get assigned. So by default, we send them as new, and we send them as the first available source. But if you want, you can send them in as hot. Maybe the Real Geeks leads tend to be hotter than most. Nurture, watch, trash, qualify, any of these will work. I'm going to stick with new. That makes a lot of sense to me. And then in contact source, I'm actually going to go ahead and select Real Geeks. So I'm going to come on down here to R. There's Real Geeks. And that way I can see that all those leads that come in from Real Geeks have this Real Geeks source assigned to them. Here's an option. If this box is checked, we will not overwrite the information in BoomTown fields. We're going to only add information into the blank fields. So if you have a lot of contacts in BoomTown and you don't want to overwrite them, should you have a duplicate contact sync in, then check this box. If, however, you don't have a lot of contacts in BoomTown and you're trying to get as much in there as possible and Real Geeks is going to be the most up-to-date information, then just uncheck the box. Most people are going to want this box checked. Let's go down to mapping. This just shows exactly what is coming over from Real Geeks and where it will live in BoomTown. So we do most of this for you. Name, email, phone, street address, city, state. If there's anything else you want to sync over from the left to the right, just click it on the left. For example, I want notes and I'm going to sync that into Note on BoomTown. I want zip. Let's sync it into zip code. There we go. I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to activate this sync. Perfect. Now any new leads that come into Real Geeks, if I add them or if they come in through the website, they're all going to get synced into BoomTown as well. Now let's set up the partner sync. So I'm going to click this Real Geeks logo again to take me to the Real Geeks syncs. It's a nice little shortcut. Click on BoomTown again. And this time we're going from BoomTown to Real Geeks. You can see we have the active sync, it's running, and we're gonna set up this partner. Because we've already connected BoomTown and Real Geeks to our API Nation account, it just passes us through to the final step, and here we go. So here we are in the final step. We're just gonna choose exactly who is getting sent into Real Geeks. So for example, I can send everybody, if I just change this to select category, the default, and I can send all sources also, if I just change this to the select source as default, and then you can see select lead type is also. But if I wanted to filter who is getting sent into Real Geeks, I could choose a category. For example, maybe I only want hot leads sent into Real Geeks. Or maybe I only want hot leads who are buyers sent into Real Geeks. I could do that. But if you just change them all to the top selection, this is just going to send everybody into Real Geeks. If I want to get Real Geeks real pumped up, I can click this box and it's going to send everybody who currently is in BoomTown. So all my entire database, it's going to send them into Real Geeks. If I only want to send contacts I add or modify from today going forward, I would just uncheck that box. Finally, I can come down here and sync up all this mapping. This all looks great. If there's anything else you want, again, you just click the field on the left and the partner on the right. All right, we're gonna go to the top and activate this sync. One tip I wanted to show you here is, let's say, so I'm gonna go into settings, I'm gonna update this. Let's say I actually only wanna send over buyers. I can do that. I'm gonna change it to buyer. And then I'm gonna come on down here and I am going to add a custom field. I'm gonna name it type and I'm gonna call this buyer. Add the field, okay? So that's a custom field API Nation is sending over with every contact. It's the same information for every contact going in. And I'm gonna hook that up to role in Real Geeks. So I'm gonna get that role buyer. That's nice, I can fill that out. And then I'm just gonna rename this sync buyer, BoomTown contacts to Real Geeks leads. And this is great, this is all set up. This is nice and set up. I'm sending over just buyer leads and I'm tagging them as buyer in Real Geeks. And now if I wanna create the same sync but for sellers, I just hit clone. I'm gonna create exact copy and I'm just gonna change a few things here. I'm gonna change this from buyer to seller. I'm gonna go ahead and rename this to seller. And I'm gonna come down here to that custom field and change that from buyer to seller. And that's it. You can see by using that clone workflow button, it made this a lot easier to create. And there we go. I'm gonna click on my syncs here. And you can see I now have 3 syncs running for Real Geeks and BoomTown. I have buyers getting synced into Real Geeks. I have sellers getting synced into Real Geeks. And I have Real Geeks getting synced into BoomTown. So that's it. That is how you sync Real Geeks with BoomTown. Again, it's a great way to use these 2 apps together to create more deals. If you have any questions or ideas or need any help setting this up, give us a phone call, shoot us an email. We're API Nation, connecting the world's applications. We love doing this stuff.